Many people ask me, what's the impact on our asset and debt division if my spouse has been cheating on me and we're going through a divorce? Well, the sad answer is none. Infidelity in a marriage is not a factor that weighs into the legal process. Washington's a no-fault state, and that means no one has to prove why the divorce is happening, why the marriage ended, what's the cause of the divorce. It's irrelevant to the legal proceedings. Now, this doesn't mean that infidelity wasn't a huge impact on your life and a betrayal, but when it comes to the asset and debt division, infidelity is not going to have an impact. If your spouse has been cheating on you and now you're going through a divorce or you're considering a divorce, it is not going to be a factor when determining the child custody and the parenting plan arrangements, unless your soon-to-be ex-spouse is dating someone who is unsafe or has exposed your child to harmful behaviors, domestic violence, substance abuse, mental health. Infidelity is not a reason to limit a parent's time with their children or their decision-making for their children. It's an unfortunate circumstance that happens in some marriages, and it is unfortunately not a reason for a court to limit a parent and their parenting rights when we come to custody and parenting decisions in a divorce. When there's been infidelity in a marriage, it is not a factor when it comes to determining spousal support. Once in a while, we might see a scenario where the person who is probably going to be paying the spousal support is maybe also spending a lot of money on their new girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other. And if they're claiming that they also can't pay spousal support because they don't have enough money, well, maybe in that scenario, infidelity might have a role in determining spousal support. But infidelity in and of itself is not a reason for spousal support to be awarded. Spousal support is awarded because of a person's need for spousal support and the other spouse's ability to pay it. Infidelity does not have an impact on setting child support in a divorce case. It is not a relevant factor. That's part of the state statutes when we consider what income should be considered for determining what the child support amount should be. Now, if a spouse has already entered into a new relationship and they're living with that new partner's income is supposed to be disclosed, but it's not income that gets factored into the formula to determine spousal support. It is a side issue and something that can really derail negotiations and is usually a big waste of time for people going through a divorce. There are so many myths about cheating and infidelity when it comes to divorce, but in Washington state, it often is not a factor when it comes to the legal process. Despite it being really painful and an emotional process to deal with, if you're dealing with an infidelity in your relationship and now you're facing a divorce and you want help, give us a call and we will help you partner through this.